On July 22, Volkswagen suddenly fired Dias, the current CEO, which shook the auto industry. To be honest, it is very strange that Volkswagen fired Dias, because Dias has always been a staunch proponent of Volkswagen's electrification transformation. His departure signals that Volkswagen's electrification is at stake. And VW is the representative of German cars, its electrification is blocked, which is a very serious blow to German cars, coupled with the Japanese car predicaments. Then the two traditional car powerhouses are in transition crisis at the same time. However, this is very beneficial for China. So many people are asking questions that were never thought of before. Can Chinese cars replace Germany and Japan as world leaders? Well, that seems to me to be quite a possibility. Why is that? To understand this question, we must start with why Volkswagen fired Dias. Dias was once the firefighting captain of VW. Back in 2015, the biggest scandal in the history of the VW Group broke out. Several of VW's diesel cars were fitted with illegal software that automatically adjusted parameters as soon as the cars started being tested, and then VW's cars were able to pass exhaust emissions tests. Once this scandal broke, governments lost trust in VW, which caused their share price to plummet by 20% in 2 days, and VW Group CEO, Vinden, and a host of senior executives, are still facing charges to this day. It was at this moment that VW brought in Dias from Audi to be the fire chief to deal with this group crisis. And Dias' handling was very impressive. He first admitted the mistakes, then recalled tens of millions of vehicles from around the world, and then promptly paid out a huge total of 16.2 billion euros in compensation to various countries. The sincere attitude has gradually calmed the anger of countries. As VW's falsification hurt not only the environmental policies, but also the trust of consumers, Dias felt it was important to save the reputation of VW. He then set out a strategy that is still admired to this day, a strategy to transform VW into a fully electric company. By proposing an environmentally friendly strategy at this time, Dias not only shifted the focus of public opinion from diesel to whether electric cars could replace fuel cars, but also successfully established an image of Volkswagen as an innovative company that cares about the environment and further neutralized the negative impact of the scandal. In 2018, Dias became CEO of the entire Volkswagen Group, marking the official launch of VW's comprehensive electrification strategy. Dias also put forward many ambitious goals in the following days, such as investing a huge capital of about 60 billion euros in 5 years, in 2025, surpassing Tesla and becoming the leader of electric vehicles. By 2030, electric vehicle sales will account for more than 50% and so on. And Dias is not only VW's firefighting hero, but also the representative of VW's electrification transformation, which is why Dias' sacking from VW is so surprising, as it represents a big dilemma for VW's electrification. So, if electrification is so important to Volkswagen, and with so much money invested, why did it fail? There is really only one reason: the VW despises the pain of transformation, and cannot do as China's unrelenting vigor. Transformation is risky. One wrong move and you lose everything. A typical example is Japanese automobiles, which bet on hydrogen energy, and then its electric cars fell apart. And so it is with VW. As a traditional car company founded in 1937, the VW have been deeply involved in the fuel car field for nearly a century. In 2021, VW Group's global car sales of 8.88 million units, 8.43 million of which are contributed by fuel cars, accounting for 95% of all sales. For VW, fuel cars are its foundation, and the pressure to transform at this time is very high. To make matters worse, there was an epidemic at the same time, resulting in a global chip shortage. As an auto giant, VW is also facing the crisis of chip shortage. There is no way to ensure the full production of chips, either choose to maintain the production of fuel cars, or to protect the new energy vehicles. This is a very difficult choice. Because the amount of chips needed for a traditional car is roughly 500 to 600, while a new energy car, the amount of chips needed is 2 to 3 times the amount of traditional cars, about 1,000 to 2,000. Therefore, for every additional electric vehicle VW produces, it means cutting 2 to 3 fuel vehicles. Eventually VW CEO Dias chose to sacrifice the production of fuel cars in order to ensure the strategy of electrification, but of course the cost is serious. This directly led to VW's main fuel car plant, shutting down for over 50 days and regressing production back to the 1950s. VW's car sales are also declining. 2021, VW's global sales fell by 4.5% year-on-year, losing to Toyota for the second year in a row and coming in second place in global sales. In the first half of this year, VW Group's global car sales, moreover, plunged 22.2% year-on-year. At the same time, the reduction in funding and production of the fuel car also means that VW no longer needs that many traditional car workers. Driven by Dias, VW announced a major layoff plan to lay off 30,000 employees worldwide by 2025, accounting for about 5% of VW's global workforce. This has seriously hurt the traditional fuel car division. Many workers and engineers in the engine and transmission fields, who have worked for VW for years, decades, or even a lifetime, are now facing unemployment. What's worse, VW's road to electrification transition has not been successful either, and VW's electric cars still don't sell as well as Tesla's in their home country. So, the fuel car sales are damaged, the electrification transformation is also not smooth, multiple factors overlapping, VW's internal conflicts continue to intensify. The final result is that DIS was abandoned by VW. So, as the electrification of German and Japanese cars is blocked at the same time, can Chinese cars replace them? To be honest, I am very optimistic about the future of Chinese car companies. Unlike Germany and Japan, China has many advantages in the field of new energy transformation. The first is the policy advantage. A typical example is photovoltaics. China's photovoltaic development is inspired by Germany. Although it started late, it is the most determined. After the global economic crisis in 2008, the photovoltaic industry fell into a dark moment, but China has never given up. Instead, it continues to make breakthroughs and eventually grow into the most powerful country in the world's photovoltaic field. Besides, from 2010 to 2020, China has a net increase of 1.937 million hectares of forest every year. The forest area increased in 10 years is equivalent to half of Japan's land area, and the green area ranks first in the world. So far, China has formed a strong combination of electric vehicle industry chain and independent brands. Among the 10 companies with the highest sales of power batteries in the world, 6 are Chinese companies, of which CATL is even the global leader in batteries. This is exactly the same as the mobile phone of the year. At that time, China started relatively slowly, but relying on long-term OEMs, it cultivated a huge supply chain. Then, during the intelligent transformation, domestic mobile phones suddenly rose and eliminated European and Japanese companies. Now that automobiles are also in a period of transition, Europe and Japan are facing difficulties again, while Chinese automobiles are showing vigor, and the time to replace them may not be far away. Okay, that's all for today. Please put your comments below, and share your insightful ideas with other people. Do you want to learn about more auto stories? Please keep following our channel and like our videos. Thank you so much for your continuous support. Your precious time with us is highly appreciated. See you.